Haverford Trust CIO, Chief Investment Officer Hank Smith is with us right now. Hank, good to see you, sir. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Maria.
You've been bullish for a while, and you said buy this market after the election. What's your reaction to the Federal Reserve decision?
Well, look, no surprise, and this was an incredibly well-advertised rate hike. In fact, 2 weeks ago, you had numerous Fed officials out in speeches, even the dovish Fed officials basically telegraphing this rate hike. So this is actually very good news because the Fed is demonstrating confidence in the economy, and that's how the market's taking it.
I want to get your take on how to allocate money, but first, confidence is the key word. And Dagan, you called it last week. You said the Federal Reserve is going to raise interest rates, and it's going to be met with confidence and a feeling that this is good news. The economy is getting better.
Well, how about having the best of both worlds, that stocks and Treasury prices rallied yesterday? The 10-year Treasury had the best price performance since last June. So this is kind of a perfect scenario where the economy is growing nicely enough for the Fed to raise interest rates, but they're not factoring in. Some people were worried that the Fed would say, hey, we're going to hike 4 times this year. And they came out and said they're still sticking with that 3. And that was a confidence booster to people who wanted to own bonds.
Yeah, her key word, Arthur, was gradual.
So they had priced in markets 4 rate hikes,
3
and it was 3, and that's the reason that we're actually seeing the confidence.
They priced in 3, but some people were worried that they would signal that they would move a 4th time.
Yeah, it's like a whisper number out there that it could be 4 because things are getting better.
I think the real story is fiscal policy. Everyone recognizes it now. The era of the Fed making big moves is over. It is now time to turn to what Donald Trump is doing with tax reform, regulatory reform, infrastructure.
I agree with you. But Hank, what about that? Are we just getting into this better environment where things are really gaining traction? You've got some animal spirits happening here, and then, boom, the Federal Reserve raises interest rates and kills it.
No, look, you are exactly correct. Fiscal policy is now taking center stage. We have said for a number of years that what the economy needs is fiscal policy to take some of the burden away from monetary